Hey everyone, ready to jump into something interesting?
I'm ready when you are.
Awesome. So, we're diving into the world of Chema, that Mexican entrepreneur.
Yeah, I've heard the name.
Well, get this. We're breaking down his whole story from this YouTube interview, the one with Jorge Serratos, you know.
Gotcha. With Jorge.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, this one's for all of you out there interested in, starting your own thing and finding work that really gets you going.
I think this is going to resonate with a lot of people,
Right.
especially given Chema's story. I mean, talk about a wild ride.
Seriously. Okay, so picture this. Chema starts a PR agency at 17.
Wait, 17? Seriously?
No, seriously, 17. And this is like way before social media blew up.
Wow, that's a completely different world. It really makes you think about how those early experiences, they shape how you approach business.
Totally. And one thing that really comes across with Chema, at least for me, is this like authenticity he has. Like he's not about that fake persona stuff.
Right, right. It's all about genuine connection. Like, that really shines through.
Exactly. Remember that story he told about like getting all those huge Mexican pop stars?
You mean like RBD?
Yeah, RBD, Rake, all of them.
No way!
Yes, for a tiny bar event. Like, can you imagine? That takes serious guts and hustle.
Talk about a power move. That's one way to show people what your agency can do.
And guess what? It worked. That event landed him a major investment.
Wow, that's incredible.
Okay, so we've got Chema, the PR master.
Yeah.
But get ready for a plot twist. He ends up in the Guadalajara nightlife scene.
Really?
Not just dipping his toes, but like owning and running nightclubs.
Nightclubs. That's a big change.
Talk about a 180.
I mean, the nightlife industry, it's a completely different animal. You're right, it's a 180 from the world TR.
For real. Trends change.
Mm-hmm.
Like overnight, and you need to have your finger on the pulse. It's crazy how he lasted 6 years in that world that's practically unheard of in such a ever-changing industry.
It really is. Most clubs are lucky to survive a year or two. So how did he do it?
He was smart about it. Instead of trying to please everyone, he had this strategy. He segmented his venue. Basically, it was like a chameleon.
A chameleon.
Totally. Like one night, it's, let's say, a casual student hangout. The next, bam, it transforms into this exclusive spot.
Whoa.
Yeah. He adapted the music, the staff, even the entire vibe to match who he was trying to attract.
Now that's thinking on your feet.
Right. But here's the thing. Chema's story isn't just about, chasing the next big thing. It's about personal growth, too. And this is where his wife, Stephanie, comes in. Before they got married, she made him promise to leave the nightclub world.
Wow, really?
Yeah, and he actually listened.
That speaks volumes.
Right? I mean, it shows a certain commitment, not just to Stephanie, but to, like, putting well-being above profits.
For sure. And, that kind of decision, it often becomes a turning point. It can lead you toward, well, in Chema's case, it led him towards mindfulness, finding work that truly resonated with his values.
It's almost eerie how perfectly things lined up. Picture this just a month before his honeymoon. He gets a buyout offer for his part of the nightclub.
You're kidding?
Nope. Almost like fate stepped in and said, all right, Chema, you learned your lessons. Time for chapter 2.
Wow. And what a chapter it turns out to be.
It's pretty wild when you think about it, Chema, walking away from this, like, super successful nightlife career.
I know, right? It takes guts to walk away from something like that, especially when it's, making you good money.
Totally.
Yeah.
But I think it says a lot about his values.
Mm-hmm.
And this whole Emberwood thing, it really highlights that shift.
Well, it does. It's like he went from this world of, like, external validation, always chasing trends, to something much more grounded.
Exactly. Like when you hear him talk about Emberwood, it's not even about the food
Right.
first.
Right. It's deeper than that.
Way deeper.
Yeah.
It's about mindfulness, dealing with anxiety, finding some peace in nature.
And cooking. Don't forget the cooking.
Oh, yeah, of course. Cooking outdoors, connecting with that primal instinct. But it makes you wonder, how did he even stumble upon this whole thing?
Right. Like, what led him to this?
Seriously. Was it always there, bubbling under the surface?
It's like he needed it. He was talking about struggling with insomnia, being stressed out from the whole nightlife scene.
Oh, yeah, he mentioned that. It's easy to fall into those traps when you're in that world.
Totally. But instead of, going down those roads, he turned to something really basic.
Outdoor cooking. It's almost like going back to basics.
Exactly. Like stripping away all the noise and finding peace in the simple act of cooking over a fire. It's pretty powerful when you think about it.
It's like those simple things. They're always there, just waiting to be rediscovered.
And he's not just keeping it to himself either. He's building a whole community around it.
That's something I picked up on too, that whole community vibe. Remember how he was talking about Checo, his business partner?
Yeah, those two go way back.
You can tell they've been through a lot together. It's more than just business. It's a real bond.
Exactly. That's the kind of connection that makes a difference. And it's not about money or status. It's real.
And it shows in the way Chema runs Emberwood. Like, remember when he was giving Jorge advice about, like, brand collaborations? He was all about being picky,
Yeah.
staying true to his vision.
Right. It's about protecting the integrity of what you're building.
Totally.
Yeah.
And it's not just about the brand. It's about the community he's creating, this
Mm.
space where people can connect with, like, nature, good food, that whole ethos.
Absolutely. And that brings us to something really crucial that we can take away from Chema's story. That sometimes, the best things happen when we least expect it.
It's like that saying, life is what happens when you're busy making other plans.
Exactly. It's about being open to the detours, embracing the unexpected,
Yeah.
because you never know, that might just lead you to something amazing.
And that takes guts, right? To step outside that comfort zone and just go for it, like Chema did.
It does. It's about trusting your intuition, taking those calculated risks, because the rewards can be so worth it.
And sometimes it's about letting go of what we think we should be doing, what we think success looks like.
Letting go is huge.
Totally. It's about redefining success on your own terms. Like, what really lights you up? What sets your soul on fire?
Those are the questions we should be asking ourselves.
It's funny. It's like we get so caught up in our own heads sometimes.
Oh, tell me about it.
Right. Like, what could we achieve if we just, let go of those fears?
Seriously, it's a total game changer when you can do that.
Chema's a perfect example.
Yeah.
He walked away from, a booming career,
Yeah.
And it wasn't because he had to. It was because he was, listening to his gut.
Yeah, he was tuned into something bigger.
Exactly. It reminds me of that quote, the cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek.
Ooh, I like that one.
Chema could have played it safe, stayed comfortable, but he found his treasure in Emberwood.
And the best part is, he's sharing it. He's not keeping it all to himself, which is, I think, really cool.
For real. He's bringing people together around this, mindful way of living, the connection, keeping it real, all of that.
Exactly. And it just goes to show success isn't one size fits all,
Not at all.
It's about figuring out what really matters to you, deep down.
What lights you up?
Yes. Whether it's, money, feeling fulfilled, or finding your purpose. And then having the guts to chase after it, even if it's unconventional.
It's about creating your own definition of success, just like Chema did. Sometimes it means letting go of what we think we should be doing.
Letting go is huge.
It is. And embracing what really sets our souls on fire.
So true. It all comes down to asking ourselves those tough questions. What would we do if fear wasn't in the picture?
Right. What if we weren't afraid to fail?
Exactly. And what truly brings us joy, how can we make that a bigger part of our lives?
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Chema's world, think about this. What's one tiny step, even just a tiny one, you can take today to get closer to that life, the one that lights you up?
What's that one little ember of passion that you can fan into a flame? Hold on to that. Let it guide you.
And that's a wrap on Chema. Hopefully you're walking away with some fresh perspectives, maybe even feeling a little fired up yourselves.
I know I am.
Until next time, everyone, keep exploring, keep those questions coming, and keep diving deep.